Okay, let me start right now. You can hear me, all of audience?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear.
Okay. Okay, we start now. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First, I say thank you to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who have given us healthy and blessing so we can meet together in this conference, although as virtual way. Also, do not forget salawat and greeting for our Prophet Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who taught us their people greatness. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to INSAIF, conjunction with ICMR. So now we move to our poster presentation. So for poster presentation, we have 9 presenters for poster presentations. And then I think all of you already here or not yet. No problem if you all don't hear, we can move to another person. So in this session, we are some rule for this activity. First, each poster presenter have 5 minutes for presentation. So just 5 minutes for presentation. And then second, don't forget to fill the attendance form. And the third, maybe we go with the parallel way. I mean, the presenter 1 until 3, will present together. And then we continue with the Q&A question. Yeah, and after that, we continue again in another presenters. So we make like parallel session like this. I think all of you understand what I mean, yeah? Okay, before we start, I would like to introduce. Okay, so before we start, I would like to introduce my name. I'm Irma Dewianti as moderator in room 6. Okay, before we start, I would like to know there is Miss Nurliza Zayana in this room. Nurliza Zayana. Not yet. Okay, not yet. We move to another person because we rush in our Anwar Deli. He is here. Mr. Anwar Deli. Mr. Anwar Deli. Because we have time until 12 o'clock. Not yet. Okay, and then the third person, I call Miss Nurlaili. Are you here, Miss Nurlaili?
Yes, I'm here, Miss.
Okay, Miss Nurlaili. You start now with your poster presentation. You will share screen by yourself, or we can do it.
Sorry, I think I'm wrong, yeah. Because I'm not make a poster. I make a PowerPoint presentation. Can presentation with PowerPoint?
Okay, you found and in Google Drive, you made PowerPoint. You made PowerPoint, yeah, for poster presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see here. This is your presentation.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, please, it's okay because it's already done. But just make sure you just have 5 minutes for presentation. Is it okay? Yeah?
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Nurlaini, time and place is yours.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before I present my PowerPoint, I will introduce myself. I am Nur Laili. I'm from Research Center, Marine Socioeconomic Marine and Fisheries. I will present my paper. The title, Gender Disaggregate Data on Fish Farming Business in Cirata Reservoir Cianjur, Regency, West Java. Okay. Next.
Wait a minute. Nggak bisa next ya, Mia? Nggak bisa next. Hah? Stop share ya. Udah nggak ada lagi punya dia nih. Pati aja nih. Okay, wait minute, Miss Nurlaila. Okay.
Yes, this is my presentation. Next. Next, yes. Why gender disaggregate data is important in policy decision. The first mandate of Presidential Instruction number 9 of 2000 concerning gender mainstreaming in national development. The second one of the focus issue in recent decades in development approach. The third, a facilitation that allow women to get up without forcing men to wait, or vice versa if the fact in the area so that women are more advanced. And four, one of the target in the SDGs regarding the achievement of gender equality and the empowerment of all women. Okay, the presentation of gender disaggregate data and information is expected to provide a description of the roles and contribution of gender-based business actors, and then map issue related to gender issue, and they are expected to provide recommendation for improvement in realizing gender equality in aquaculture. Next. In the marine and fishery sector, men and women are not differentiated in every development policy and have the same right in development and policy, especially in aquaculture. Next. My paper objective, this paper aims to present data on aquaculture business actors by analyzing gender disaggregate data on floating net cake aquaculture or KJA in Cirata Reservoir Cianjur, Regency, West Java. Next. The methodology, the study was conducted in October 2020 in Cirata Reservoir Cianjur, Regency, West Java. The study uses a survey method by conducting structured interviews using questionnaire and in-depth interview with 159 fish farming actors, 154 men and 5 women in Cirata Reservoir Cianjur, Regency, West Java. Gender analysis using gender equality and social inclusion approach can facilitate the process of applying a gender equality and justice perspective that not only pays attention to women and men, but also marginal groups in which there are women and men. Okay, next. This is the result and discuss the overview floating net cage fish farming KJA in Cirata Reservoir, Cianjur. From the presentation in 2022, the contribution of floating net cakes in Cirata Reservoir to fishery production in Cianjur Regency is 41 of total production. In 2018, there was a PEPES policy, accelerated control of the Citarum River, through a presidential regulation, Perpres, and one of them had an impact on controlling KJA in the Cirata Reservoir. Fish farming business.
Miss Nurlaili, you have 1 minute more. 1 minute.
Fish farming business actor in Cirata, not only men but also women. And then my paper illustrate that disaggregate data gender by social economy characteristic. Maybe next to the next slide. Okay, several considerations including women in the respondent listing are based on the existing census data, which shows that women are business actors in KJA cultivation business in Cirata Reservoir. Another consideration is that the woman has been active for 1 year in cultivating KJA, is in the productive age range, has a land area with small scale criteria. General information on business actor based on data disaggregated by men and women can be seen in the description below. Next, maybe to conclusion and recommendation. Next slide. Yes. Okay, the conclusion, business actor of KJA fish farming Cirata Reservoir, not only men but before slide. Okay. Yes. The participation of women in KJA fish farming business is the same as that of men by being involved in running their own KJA business. From the social and economic criteria, women and men who are active in the KJA fish farming business are no longer significantly different in terms of age, education, ethnicity, number of members, business asset, fish farming commodities, area of land use, and number of plot. Next, the recommendation from this paper is the recommendation given is the opportunity for accessibility to business capital for women so that the business they run becomes more developed. Another recommendation is to provide information regarding participation in business groups and Kusuka data collection to minimize the problem female business actors have limitation in assessing program and assistance from the government. Okay, thank you for ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for Ms. Nurlaili for your interesting presentation. Next, we move to another presenter. There is Ms. Imelda Agustina.
Yes, Miss Irma.
Okay, Ms. Imelda, maybe you can mute.
Yes.
Unmute. Okay. Okay, Ms. Imelda, the time is. Ada. Okay, you can start, Ms. Imelda.
Baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Miss Irma. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Imelda Agustina. Today, I'm going to present my paper. The paper is Study of Sea Surface Temperature Effect on Punsen Cats in Aceh, North Waters, Indonesia. Introduction. Chinese fishermen in ocean fishery Port Kutaraja generally carry out fishing operations around the Aceh Northern waters. There have abundant and diverse potential for biological research. Therefore, the Aceh Northern waters are used as fishing operation area. Aceh Northern waters have small islands such as Sabang Island, Brah Island, Sunap Island, Nasi Island, and Buntal Island. Oceanographic condition and economic value of a fishing area are consideration whether or not to carry out fishing activities in the fishing area. To consider a location in the sea suitable for fishing, several oceanographic parameters are usually considered in the physical, chemical, and biological characteristics of the location, including sea surface temperature. Material and method. Research location and time. This research was conducted at Kutaraja Ocean Fisheries, PPS Banda Aceh in November 2019. Method used in this study is survey method conducted by conducting interview based on questionnaire to fishermen in Kusen, 11 to GT fishing flat determination and fishermen as respondent was determined by the purpose sampling method. Namely, Hussein measuring 11 to 20 GT located at the Kutaraja Ocean Fishery Port PPS. Data analysis. Based on the purpose above, data analysis is divided into three stages. One, fish catch to sea surface temperature distribution, and three, SST effect and catch. The result. The number of fish caught is for Kutaraja Ocean Fishing Port PPS by Hussein measuring 11 to 20 GT for 5 years was the heck in 2018, which was 2,499,636 kilograms, and the loss occurred in 2060, which was 1,464,220 kilograms, and the loss of catch type for the last 5 years, 2015 to 2019, were dominated by scat, tuna, also mackerel, which is to catch of 8,333,785 kilograms, and 1,115,237 kilograms, and 105,170 kilograms. SST content obtained in Aceh Northern water shows that the sea surface temperature in 2019, that sea surface temperature in 2016 to 2019 start from the lowest temperature of 29 degrees Celsius occurred in 2016 and reached the high temperature of 24 degrees Celsius occurred in 2015 with an average value of the average sea surface temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. The effect of fish catch graph on change in sea surface temperature Aceh North waters, the confidence of determinants R2 is 0.2279. This value can provide an illustration that the sea surface temperature AST parameter contributes to fish catch by 22.79%, and the rest is influenced by other oceanographic factors and production factors.
1 minute left, Miss Imelda.
Okay. Conclusion is fish catch using 11 to 20 GT% were raised in 2018 with a total of 2,499,636 kilograms, while the lowest catch was in 2016 with a total of 1,464,220 kilograms. The surface temperature distribution in Aceh Northwestern showed that the highest temperature occurred in 2015, which was 24 degrees Celsius, while the lowest occurred in 2016, which was 29.4 degrees Celsius with an average fall 60 degrees Celsius. So from the simple linear regression analysis result about sea surface temperature effect on fish catch was show that there is a surface correlation with positive relation direction and coefficient of determination and other influenced by other oceanographic factors with chlorophyll and salinity and current. I think that's all my paper. Thank you, Ms. Irma.
Thank you for Ms. Imelda for your nice presentation. Move, we go to next presenter. We have Nanda Muhammad Razi here. Okay, Nanda, times and place, it's yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Irma Dewianti. Thank you for to give to me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nanda Muhammad Razi. I'm from Universitas Syah Kuala. In this opportunity, I would like to present my research team by title Molecular Identification of Shark and Ray Fin and Trend in Shark Catch Land in Aceh. Okay, shark is cartilaginous fish that widely hunted because it has high economic value. The water of Aceh are directly adjacent to Indian Ocean and the South China Sea, making it a preferred habitat for pelagic fish, especially shark. Information on shark species landed in the waterways and east of Aceh is very limited to do difficult in identification uncommon use area name. This study aims to see the trend of shark catch from 1989 to 2011 and to find out especially what types of shark are most often land in Aceh water. The method we use in this research is secondary data and primary data. Secondary data was obtained from the fisheries statistic data for 1989 to 2011 stage, namely sample collection, identification using identification book, molecular identification, and phylogenetic analysis. We use MEGA-6. The result of the study show by the trend of statistical data on the West Coast shark catch interest to from 1990 to 1996, but there was a drastic decline in 2005 by 75%. This was caused by the tsunami, which caused the fishing port to completely damage. The graph of the trend of East Coast shark catch look up and down from 1989 to 2003 and experienced to drastic decline in 2004 to 2005. The highest increase occurred in 2007, which reached 2,244 tons. The result of the molecular analysis of 45 tissues sample from 5 locations show that there are 15 species, namely Carcajinus sorah, Carcajinus amboinensis, Triaenodon obesus, Isurus oxyrhynchus, Spirnaziena, Spirna lewini, Loxodon, Macrochinus, Hemipristis elogaria, Stagotoma fasciatum, Nebrius ferrugineus, Cilocilium punstatum, Rhinchobatus australian, Isurus oxyrhynchus, Alopias pelagicus, and Alopias supercillosus. Maybe the last. Thank for all your attention. We all know one perfect. I think all my mistake and my broken English. Maybe I hope the presentation easy to understand. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, so we already have 3 presenters before, and we continue with Q&A session. There is a question from the participant here. Maybe you interesting about the something that the presenter before said, the material, method, result, and exercise. Any question? No question. Okay. If no question, we move to the second parallel session for the poster presentation. I call Miss Titin Safiati. She is here? Miss Titin?
Yes, I'm here. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Miss Titin.
Yes.
Time is yours, please.
Yeah, thank you for this chance to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Now I would like to introduce myself. My name is Titin Sofiati. I'm from the Department of Technology Fisheries from Fisheries and Marine Science Faculty, Universitas Pacific Morotai, North Moluccas. Okay, I would like to presentation our paper.
I think something wrong with your connection, Miss Titin. Hello, Miss Titin. Miss Titin, something problem there?
Hello, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fishing ports are an important factor in supporting various capture fisheries activity in Aceh. One of the fishing port in East Aceh is a Kuala Langsa Fishing Landing Base atau PPI. The available facilities at PPI Kuala Langsa are currently not being used optimally by fishermen. The problems in managing PPI Kuala Langsa are inadequate facility and supporting infrastructure. Therefore, good port facility management is needed to be able to provide facility and infrastructure more active and facility. This condition is much more unconducive when the fishing season arrives. The loading and unloading activity will become more heavy, with the result of the requiring a wider and more spacious landing area. The aim of study is find out the actual condition of fishing port, dock, and port-bound facilities at PPI Kuala Langsa and determine the utilization level of the fishing port, dock, and port-bound facilities according to spatial and time at PPI Kuala Langsa. The research was conducted in August 2020 using survey method and interview with 18 fishermen. This research is only limited to an assessment of the level and utilization of the main facilities, name of the fishing port dock, and port pond. The actual condition were analyzed descriptively, whereas level of using facility was analyzed by using formula for Director General of Capture Fishery, 1981, namely by using the percentage of the level of the utilization. It is measured based on the function of space and function of time. The results of the research showed that the condition of fishing port dock in PPI Kuala Langsa is good, which a fishing port dock length of 110 meter and width of 8 meter, while the condition of the port bund is also good with the area of 4 hectare and a depth of 8 meter. The level of spatial utilization on the fishing port dock was 105% and based of time was 45%. The result of the using of the port dock base of spatial utilization has crossed the limit and the base of time is what not optimal. The conclusion, while the level utilization of the port pond facility utilization based on space and level is 100 and the base on time is 100. It was indicated that the use of facility is still within optimal limits. Okay, thank you. To moderator, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Titin, for your nice presentation. And then we move to another presenter. I call Mr. Yopi. He is here, Mr. Yopi. Or representative of Mr. Yopi. Not here. Okay, let's move to another presenter. I think we have Mr. Adrian Damora here.
Okay, Bu Irma.
Okay. Times in place is yours. Please, Mr. Damora.
Can the operator share the poster?
Maybe you can share your poster presentation because we don't have your poster in Google Drive.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Wait a minute.
All participants, don't forget to fill the attendance in room 6. You can find in chat.
Hello everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I want to introduce myself. My name is Adrian Damora. I'm from Faculty of Marine and Fisheries, Syekh Kuala University. I will present our research finding with entitled Profit Maximization of Blue Swimming Crab or Portunus pelagicus stroke spatial bioeconomic approach in Bintan Marine Protected Area in Indonesia. I wrote this research with our colleague. They are Mayumi Zamil from University of Maritime Raja Ali Haji, Professor Ali Suman from Research Institute for Marine Fisheries, and Dr. Umi Muamana from Research Institute for Social Economic of Marine and Fisheries. So, blue swimming crab or blue swimmer crab is an important fishery resources that is strongly associated with the Bintan Regency Marine Protected Area, or we call KKLD, Kabupaten Bintan. And its fishing efforts is the main livelihoods of fishers living around the MPA. A spatial approach should be applied in the blue swimmer crab fishery management instead of the conventional approach. The conventional approach assumes fish resources to have a spatially homogeneous distribution. So the spatial bioeconomic model has been used to maximize the fishing revenue of 3 landings sites inside the MPA and 1 location outside of the MPA. There are differences in blue swimmer crab fishing, blue swimming crab fishing effort between season at the 4 landing sites concerning profit maximization. So this difference can actually be considered very small because the fishery is small scale character and its tendency to always meet high levels of livelihood needs, so that there are no significant difference between seasons. During the peak season, during the peak fishing season, fishing trips can be optimized in Senggarang area, which is the Senggarang is outside of the MPA, with 152 trips per boat per month, and estimated total revenue of 29 million rupiah per boat. So in the bait fishing season, the optimize of fishing activity can be due in bracket area, which is the bracket is inside of the MPA. Then the optimize of the trips is 61 trips per month, with estimated revenue is 2.7 million rupiah per boat per month. Thank you for your attendance, and I will back to the moderator. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Damora, for your interesting presentation about crabs. Okay, now we move to another presenter. Here we have Salmarika. Miss Salmarika, are you here? Okay, Miss Salmarika, time is yours.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, your voice is very clear.
Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. Before I start, I will say thank you for Mrs. Irma as moderator today. That gives me the opportunity to present. And now I'm Salmarika from Sheffield University, and I would like to present our study that titled Fishing Productivity of Yellowfin Tuna with percents and handline based in Banda Aceh, Indonesia. And as you know that the northern and western.
Please, Panitia, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I think you joined the wrong room. So this is your room.
Wait a minute, Dr. Sabrin. Can you tell me what's the problem?
Maybe Ibu Sabrina, please click the live room and choose the live breakout room. You will entering the main room and choose again the room 5.
Hello, Dr. Sabrina, are you there? You can hear us? Maybe the connection is not good. Okay, Miss Almarika, maybe you can continue with your presentation.
Yeah. Okay. As we know that the northern and western water of Aceh are potential area of yellowfin tuna, especially in eastern part of the Indian Ocean. Nah, fisher catch this special using person and hand line landed at different location in Banda Aceh City, and the objective of the present study was to analyze the fishing productivity of yellowfin tuna based on catch per unit effort or CPUA, and the average cat size to compare with the size at maturity of the species. And data collection was conducted from November to December 2019 in the fishing port of Lampulo, and tuna landed site in Gampung Jawa, and the result shows that the CPUA of person and hand line experienced monthly and annual fluctuation during the 2015 to 2019 period. The peak of yellowfin tuna fishing session with the two fishing gear occurred from September to November. And well, the highest annual CPUA for a person occur in 2019, while handline occur in 2015. And the juvenile fish category dominate the yellowfin tuna coating percent at 64%, and while the adult fish category dominate handline at 78%. I think that's all I have to say about. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We had already 3 presentations before. Maybe someone have question. We open for question now. You can raise hand or can you use chat room for the question? No question? 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think everything is clear, yeah? Okay, now we move to another presenter. I think we have Miss Nurliza here. Nurliza Zayana. In the list is the first attendance. Are you here, Miss Nurliza? Miss Nurliza?
Yes.
Okay. Are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. You can start your poster presentation, please, Miss.
Okay.
But we don't have your poster presentation. You can share screen by your own self.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurliza Zayana. I'm from the Faculty of Science and Technology, Win Araniri, Banda Aceh. Here I will present our letter research entitled Alteration in Gill, Skin, and Fins, Snakehead fish due to ectoparasite infection and macropathological and histopathological approach. Introduction. Snakehead fish is a freshwater fish with high economic value due to its benefit in all sizes. Many people prefer this fish because of its thick and colorful flesh and distinctive taste. Snakehead fish is a member of the Changia family found in freshwater of river, Richfield Pond, swamp, and even community ditches. In Indonesia freshwater ecosystem, snakehead fish are abundant, including Aceh water. Snakehead fish are very susceptible to conditions without water in a specific time interval. The ability to adapt fluctuating environmental conditions make these fish vulnerable to parasite infection by ectoparasite and endoparasite. Material and method. This study was conducted from April to June 2021. A total of 90 snakefish were collected from Richfield, swamp, and beaches. Observing parameter was carried out at the multifunctional laboratory of the Araniri State Islamic University, Banda Aceh. Histology was conducted at the Ujung Bate BPAP laboratory. Micropathology and histopathology observation. Micropathological symptoms were analyzed by observing the alteration in snakehead fish gill, skin, and fins. The ectoparasite found were identified by comparing the morphology the ectoparasite with identification reference. Histology preparation was based on histotechnic method. Prefer the fish gills were preserved with diffusion selection. Briefly, histological preparation consists of 7 stage fixation: dehydration, clearing with infiltration, embedding, cutting, and staining.
Ms. Nurliza, you have 2 minutes left. So just manage the time.
Here is the result of research. You can see it on the screen. As you can see, its table is compared between normal and infection snakehead fish. The table shows the comparative of gill, skin, and spin normal and infection snakehead fish. And then this is the histology picture of normal and infection snakehead fish. The gill are one of the fundamental organs of fish that acts as the primary respiration apparatus that work by diffusion of oxygen dissolved in water. The gill are susceptible to water quality degradation due to their significant contact with water. The infection with ectoparasite induces hyperplasia, a disorder that triggers cell between the secondary lamella. The cell can permit the secondary lamella to thicken and become irregular in shape. So epithelium discovered in the secondary lamella of the gill may be adaptive strategy to presence of parasite.
One minute left, Miss.
The last conclusion, micropathology of gill, skin, and fins or ectoparasite infections snakehead fish indicate change in skin color and excessive mucus production. Histopathology of the gills of change of ectoparasite infected snakehead fish find the presence of hyperplasia disorder that trigger operation of cell between the secondary lamella. This will affirm the secondary lamella to thicken on back in irregular in shape. Okay, I will back moderator.
Okay, thank you, Miss Nurliza. You can stop your share screen. Okay, I think we all of from the presentation already presented. but we just have two presenters that I will call the last one. Anwar Deli, Mr. Anwar Deli.
Yes,
This is
I'm
the
in
call,
here.
the last call.
Yes.
Okay. You are here, Mr. Anwar Deli. Okay, Mr. Anwar Deli, the time is yours.
Let me share screen.
Yeah, sure. Maybe you can stop the share screen first, Miss Noliza.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Anwar Deli, the time is yours.
Yeah,
Please.
yes, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Anwar Deli from Department of Agribusiness, Shahwala University. I would like to present our poster. The title is The Effect of Harvest Failure on Inshore Land Area in Aceh Province. Introduction: agriculture insurance is a risk transfer that can provide compensation due to farming losses, so that sustainability of farming can be guaranteed. Method: this study used secondary data from 2010 until 2019. The data analysis method used simple regression analysis. And result discussion, result of simple regression analysis is y equal 911.51 plus 0.02x. The simple linear regression equation above can be interpreted as follow. This constant value of 911.516 mean that if the variable area at crop failure x equal 0, then the insured land area will remain at 911.516. The coefficient value of the rice harvest is 0.02x, meaning that if the other independent variable have a fixed value and the variable area of crop failure increase by 1 hectare, the insured land area will increase by 0.02x hectare. Conclusions: there is no significant effect between the area of rice harvest failure and the area of land insured. That's all. I'll back to moderator. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Anwar Deli, for your presentation. Last but not least, I want to call Mr. Yopi Ilhamsa. The last call for Mr. Yopi. Still not here. Okay. Maybe you have some question for Mr. Anwar Deli and Ms. Nurliza. For the audience here, any question for to last the presenter? No question. Okay, maybe if we don't have any question anymore, I think this is the end of our poster session. But before you leave, we can take a picture together. So please on your video. I will count 1, 2, 3, the video. Okay, we start to take the picture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, page 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you for all of the participants here. We can close this poster session and you can take a break. We can continue again at 1:30. Okay, thank you for your attention here and for all contribute for your material for this poster presentation. I will close this poster session with Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. See you next time and very happy to meet all of you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.